of the world unite. It's time to war, to fight the fight against the puppet masters pulling strings. We'll strip away the power, hear our piercing screams. We won't be silenced anymore. We break free from the chains that they adore. Stand tall, unrigging the game we rise. We'll bring reality from their lies. Unrig the game, unleash the fury.
Say his name and he appears.
This is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Greetings and welcome to Unrig the Game. How's everybody doing out there? Hope you are all doing and living well. I'd like to thank all of my YouTube members there scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and a special thanks to Shelly and Wolfram, who also support us over on Rumble. By the way, we are broadcasting live on Rumble, X, and YouTube as always. And in case you were wondering, this is the kickoff show. Coming up next, part two of Three-Way War, chapters 10 through 13 of Big and Tell by J. Michael Waller. A phenomenal book. And that will be exclusively on Rumble and X after the kickoff show. And that's what we do right now here, where we spend about somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour just hanging out on all three platforms and going over some content of the day. Sometimes we do whatever comes to mind, but generally it has to do with either the theme of the book or lection or something like that. And then sometimes, like tonight, we'll just check it on a town hall that's going on. So we're gonna do that. But up front, I'm gonna talk about the UFO distraction being back, and that's just a quick little segment I have that's kind of really entertaining because people are getting it, and that's what I love about this piece that we're gonna do. It's not gonna take very long, but it's just, I love the fact people are getting it now. I remember when they first started coming out with the UFO distractions, I'm like, yeah, they do this every time. They want to pull us away from what's going on, and it never amounts to squat, right? It never amounts to squat. So we'll be covering that first. And then we're going to go to some of the town hall that's happening in Oaks, PA. It's live right now, but we're going to catch up on it, and we'll just look at the questions that Trump's answering from the crowd. That's always the best part of the town hall. So we'll do that. And then at the top of the hour, we'll jump over to Rumble and X exclusively, or jumping off of YouTube. And then we'll start doing our listening party. And I'm excited because I love this book. It's a great book. It's clearly one of my favorites that we've done so far. So I'm looking forward to getting back into that book tonight. I love reading books with you guys. People don't read enough books these days, but we're doing it, right? We're doing it. So we're gonna do all that and more. And and by the way, after the reading part as well, we'll continue that interview with J. Michael Waller and the Institute of National Scholars. I think I got that right. Doesn't matter. We're still gonna watch it anyways. How's everybody doing out there? Wolfram, thank you for being here, my friend. Thank you for dropping these links. Remember to always listen to the wolf. He knows what he's talking about. He wipes his paws, lips in the house, and he's here. Shelly is welcoming everybody there over on X. And we got, so much going on. I'm so happy you guys are here tonight. We're going to have a great show. We'll give people a little bit of time to roll in here. Wolfram, what's going on, my friend? How are you doing today? How's your day going? I hope it's going great. I really do. And welcome, Shelly's over there welcoming the Rumblers over there, and they're kind of here. There's Heidi. Hey, Heidi, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Man, I tell you what, I'm still thinking about the Sunday show and Dreams from My Real Father, and that book about Obama's past, and how they always try to write a book to cover as a cover story that they can then run on. And that documentary really didn't get enough play in its time. And I even ran across a video today of Tucker from like 7 years ago. And some guy came on, had this book he was promoting. And he's like, wow, we should have known this information long before. And it was about the same exact thing. And I was like, well, that's ridiculous because Joel Gilbert did it long before that book came out. It's just that people were still so far into the first veil at that point that they didn't see it, including Tucker. I mean, they just didn't even see that documentary that spelled everything out. Very powerful documentary. I think it's even more relative now than it was then. I mean, it was important then, but people were just so, like I said, they were so far into that first veil, that establishment narrative. They weren't even like, he's a Marxist. You just mean, because he wants healthcare. They didn't realize that when people were calling him a Marxist, they really meant he was a Marxist, like literally running with the Weather Underground, having Bill Ayers write his book for him, raised, groomed, and potentially made by, literally made by Frank Marshall Davis, a known communist, on the FBI watch list, all that stuff. It may have done some good then. I know that us in the Ron Paul community back then, the Ron Paul revolution, were trying to get people to watch it. But I mean, people were just, they were too taken in by the information-based mind control of the Obama era. But now today, more people are awake and aware, and that history could show them a lot because there's so many parallels it draws to today, right? Hey, what's up, T-Rex Trucking and More? How you doing? So awesome you're here. Hope you're doing well out there. Hope you're driving safe wherever you are on this Monday evening. Yep, and you can subscribe to T-Rex Trucking and More, and you can truck across America with him. He's got a great new camera that lets you spin around 360 from the top of the truck and see this wonderful, beautiful country that we are here to protect and preserve for future generations and more. Lucifer the Doberman, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Happy that you're here. How you doing? How's everybody doing out there? Wolfram, how you doing, man? All right. Guys, we're going to start off with a little bit of a short little story about the UFO distraction. And I'm going to play some of this. We're going to bring up Tim Pool here. And then I want to take a look in the comments because the comments are the best part of this video. All right, let me get here in analyst mode and let's go.
Aliens had to do it. The Daily Mail says the Pentagon's secret UFO data retrieval program, Immaculate Constellation, revealed for the first time in new whistleblower report.
I'm so tired of whistleblowers, man. Whistleblower. I got I'll show you what I put in there about my, I got inside sources. I got whistleblowers. I got all that shit too, because I can just say it. Because that's what if people just say it's a whistleblower, it's supposed to add credibility to the things, right? But they never tell you who it is. And my White House insider. Everybody's got a White House insider, right?
Is it, ladies and gentlemen. The lid has been blown off. The Pentagon's got aliens in the books. Half kidding. Let's read and talk about aliens. A secretive Pentagon UFO.
And then you have a nice AI picture right there on top of it, just to rub it in, right? Just to rub it in. Oh man. Oh, we got to do something here real quick. We got something very special that's happening.
It's cold. A big warm Vietnam. It has to do. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing. It's cold. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. Gonna try to get out of anything.
Talking Trash and Truths, thank you so much for gifting the 5 memberships. Who are the lucky people who get this today? Show Me Sasquatch, 2B Flair, Patrick W, Kristen Fortunato, and Volstrom. All right. Some awesome people in that crowd, some new people in that crowd. So guys, congratulations on your gifted membership. Make sure you thank Shelly. That's Talking Trash and Truths. If you stop in and make sure you thank her for that wonderful gift. And thank you, Shelly, for supporting the channel and giving out those wonderful gift memberships. And hopefully, if you guys like them, you'll decide to become permanent members like all of our winners in the winner circle. Yep. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Let's continue here. Yeah. I love the little spherical, shiny AI object here, or whatever that is that's up there. Very nicely done.
Data retrieval program has been hidden from congressional oversight since 2017, a new report claims. Whistleblowers assert the program, codenamed Immaculate Constellation, was established to detect and quarantine the military's best UFO imagery, as well as its best videos, eyewitness testimonies, and electronic sensor evidence. This trove of high-quality multi-sensor UFO data is so tightly held that talking about it will put you in the danger zone.
Uh-oh. It's a highway. Would you say, Tim, that it's a highway to the danger zone?
According to a U.S. official who confirmed the leak. Oh boy, this is getting fun, huh? The quite literally above top secret program allegedly sprang into action in the wake of the 2017 leak of 3 still as of yet unexplained U.S. Navy infrared UFO videos.
Oh, yeah. You guys remember that time I had Kaiser Pineapple on? He was actively talking about those videos, and I totally debunked them. And by the end of the stream, he's like, yeah, I got a lot to think about. I mean, it's like, you know, you get into them, you can see all the little glitchy stuff in them. And then you also know that, you know, why are they always the same? Why are they always over water? Why are they always during training exercises? Why are they? You start asking more questions, they make less sense, right? And I think I'll try to find it while this is playing, but Elon Musk summed it up just beautifully.
Pentagon spokesperson denied the existence of the program Tuesday evening, telling reporters the Department of Defense has no record, present or historical, of any type of special access programs called Immaculate Constellation.
Right?
Oh boy, man.
How about that?
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give a quick shout out before we go a little bit too further into our show, which we're gonna have up for you tonight. Tales from the Inverted World on YouTube. Check it out. Subscribe. Shane Cashman later today. For those that are watching live, not today, but on Sunday, we'll be talking about this live with guest callers, various stories of the weird, the wild, the mysteries. So check out Tales from the Inverted World on YouTube, but let's keep reading. They go on to say, by law, classified programs like SAPs must be disclosed to the so-called Gang of Eight, which includes the chairs and ranking members of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees and other key lawmakers. However, the source of the leaked report, who supplied the document to the independent news site The Public, described the program as an unacknowledged special access program, or USAP, with unique secrecy privileges. Reporting in defense publication Jane's Defense first revealed the existence of USAPs decades ago, showing that government officials were authorized to lie publicly and deny their existence. How about
or lie publicly and claim their existence? How about that?
We had who was it? What was it? Was it Clapper who lied about NSA spying? Maybe not. I'm forgetting the guy's name. Is that it? Was it? I don't think it was Clapper. I don't know. But yeah, they lie about stuff all the time. Is the NSA doing mass surveillance on the American people? No. Psych. Public's anonymous source alleged that such depictions were now occurring on the issues of non-human intelligence and unidentified aerial phenomena. The executive branch has been managing UAP NHI issues without congressional knowledge, oversight, or authorization for some time, quite possibly decades, this anonymous whistleblower wrote in their report to Congress. Check this out. An excerpt from the 2000 issue.
The anonymous whistleblower. Let those two words sink in together. The anonymous whistleblower.
Of National Security Magazine, Jane's International Defense Review, in which reporter Bill Sweetman first made public the existence of unacknowledged special access programs. International cover is supported by two mechanisms inherent in the structure of unacknowledged SAPs that result in the dissemination of plausible but false data or disinformation. Confronted with the unauthorized use of program name or a specific question, an accessed individual may deny all knowledge of a program, as he should, because its existence is a core secret, and a mere no comment is tantamount to confirmation.
Ooh.
The questioner, who may not be aware that an accessed individual must respond with a denial, will believe that denial and spread it further. Look at this stuff. That's wild, dude. The whistleblower who claims to have authored the report to Congress described the Immaculate Constellation.
Okay, so if the whistleblower is anonymous and claimed to author it to Congress, wouldn't it be on the congressional record who the whistleblower is? I mean,
USAP as a strategic intelligence program, and only one part of how the U.S. military currently deals with its UAP problem. UAP problem. If proven to be legitimate, the program would show those now infamous Navy UFO videos, known as the Tic Tac, Go Fast, and Gimbal, to be just the tip of the U.S. government's UFO data iceberg.
Yeah, that's all the bullshit. That's all the bullshit we looked through, and we went through each one of those. And I actually slowed the videos down. I zoomed in on them. I did things. I noted the with all the little things that we were seeing in the corner, like what they meant and how they were changing. And you remember the only explanation that I was given? Oh, they were jamming the signal. Well, how do you know they're jamming the signal? Like nobody even mentioned it. That's what Kaiser said. That's like nobody even mentioned anything about some jamming going on. If they were jamming the signal, how are they getting the video? So somehow, I mean, you know, it's like it's so easy to pick these things apart when you slow down and you really analyze them. They're obviously footage that's taken out of context of something they're actually doing. You know, they're doing themselves, right? And it's no, I don't think that they're unknown at all. And you can listen to the reactions of the people in the videos too, and see that these are people like going, oh, you know, they're not in that, you know, holy crap mindset. They're more like in that, woo, we got it. Yeah, man. Woo. You know, like they're trying to lock onto something very fast. And that was the point of the exercise. Go back and check out that whole stream I did with Kaiser called The Reality of UFO UAPs. That was a good one. And that's where you see all that really in-depth analysis that we did. Hey, Count, how you doing? I see you out there with your popcorn.
Collected by these sensors
how you doing,
have
man?
captured UAP characteristics that are difficult or impossible to observe with the human eye alone, according to the leaked report. Allegedly intended for cleared members of Congress, subtle atmospheric effects associated with UAPs are also visible through the sensors employed by the U.S. military and intelligence agencies, the leaked report added. The verifiable chain of custody for UAP, IMINT, meaning high-quality imagery intelligence collected by U.S. military assets, the report continues, ensures a high level of confidence in the accuracy and integrity of the data gathered. This alleged leaked classified report to Congress also described an incident in which a swarm of orb UFOs surrounded an F-22 stealth Raptor, forcing it off course. The F-22 broke trajectory and attempted to evade, according to the alleged report, but was intercepted and boxed in by approximately 3 to 6 UAPs. This is unidentified aerial phenomena. One maneuvered in proximity with more than 12 meters to the area directly starboard of the cockpit, as this whistleblower report described the pilot's testimony. There, the UAP established a rigid spatial relationship with the F-22, maintaining its exact position and orientation parallel with the F-22's cockpit, despite multiple evasive rolls and maneuvers. Dude, could you imagine being a pilot?
Yeah, I could imagine it in a science fiction movie. Okay, so I just posted a link to the playlist, Unveiling Reality, the Alien UFO Rabbit Hole. That video is in that playlist, along with 10 other videos where I walk everybody through the all of the stuff surrounding the UFO alien rabbit hole grift, right? We start from the entry point, which is ancient aliens. So it's totally get everybody indoctrinated over on the first veil, right? Because you can see that on the quote unquote History Channel, and then I'll walk you through Project Deception. I mean Project Disclosure, right? And then I'll walk you through every other step that comes after that and where people actually end up in the end if they keep believing this stuff, they keep buying into it, right? Very new agey little culty UFO club where you can become a super soldier that's transdimensional and you can do things with their minds. You see where people end up when they keep following this ancient aliens rabbit hole bullshit about aliens. I'm going to stop Tim right there and he can fantasize about that a little bit longer, but I want to take you down into, and you know, he's having fun with it, I can tell, but let's go down here into the comments real quick. And I guess I'm doing this the best way. And you can see what I said here. My whistleblower says it's all a psyop and not to believe any of it. And I said, I'll believe it when Elon tweets about it. I'm going to show you why in a minute. But if you go down in here, you can see that everybody is onto the gimmick. They're onto the trick. And that was the best part of this video for me, was reading the comments and seeing what people are like, that's nice. I still want Epstein's client list, right? This isn't news. We have aliens all over the place. They're eating dogs, they're eating the cats, right? More aliens. I didn't realize Kamala was doing that bad, or maybe FEMA was doing that bad, right? Nobody pay attention to what's going on. We have aliens. We get aliens are real before one name on the Epstein list. People are really with that list. Maybe the aliens can fix the Dominion voting machines. Every time there's an election, here come the aliens. Remember, I showed you how they roll out those aliens, and one time they rolled out the Galactic Federational Light Grift, right? That from an Israeli insider or whatever, official, right? He went down the alien rabbit hole and came out with the Galactic Federation of Light is in charge, and they've always been here, and all this other bullshit, right? But we go through that entire playlist. We go through 10 episodes of just debunking and having a good time doing it. Susie Wisnut is on with me, as well as where is Caitlin Comments gone? And oh, don't look over there at the government failures. Look, aliens. I love this. People get it. They get that the UFO thing is nothing but a distraction. It never leads anywhere. And it's just a bunch of BS. So whenever they roll it out, it means they don't want you to look at something, or they're trying to distract you from, they're trying to distract you basically. Oh, new UFO news. What is the government trying to distract us from this time? Look, comment after comment after comment after comment. Aliens equal smoke screen. Dude, people get it. The grift's over, guys. You might as well stop with the alien bullshit, because everybody's onto your trick. And I love the fact that this many people are awake and aware today and get it. They really get it. Now, let me show you the one guy I would listen to. And you know why? Because who's doing more with space right now, and who has more satellites around the Earth right now than this guy? He's part of the team, Elon Musk. And he promises.
Where are the aliens? When you say, what are the aliens? Where are the aliens? Like, why don't we see them? A lot of people think we see aliens, but I've not seen any evidence of aliens. We've got 6,000 satellites in orbit, and not once have we had to maneuver around an alien spacecraft.
Right. But on this Earth, the U.S. military's had to do a lot of maneuvering around objects they can't explain.
There's always a bunch of classified programs that are underway of new aircraft and new missiles and things. So that are classified even within the military. So it's only if you have the top secret compartmented clearance would you know about this new program. So then some pilot sees something moving fast and says, "Hey, I saw a UFO." I'm like, "Yeah, that was actually a new weapons program, but we can't tell you that." The split second I see any evidence of aliens, I will immediately post that on the X platform, and it'll probably be our #1 post of all time.
That'll be your biggest day.
Yeah,
for sure.
Where are the aliens?
When you
So I mean, I think that sums it up, doesn't it? I mean, we got Elon looking out for us. He has 6,000 satellites. He's never seen a thing, right? We know all about they have to keep their new technology, their new military technology, a secret, so that it's not stolen by our enemies. We know that part. It all makes sense when you slow down, you get out of the ancient aliens mind control, and you realize that it's just their own government. And a lot of times and then you go and you see the base crowd out there, and they know that it's a distraction. They know that it's a distraction, that when you see aliens, look somewhere else, right? Go look for what they're trying to get you not to look at. That's what they're trying to cover up. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. So much fun. Hey, Thomas, how you doing, my friend? Foo Fighters. Great band, bad politics. What can you do? It shows the details of the numbers on the screen. So something as a slow flying duck can literally look like it's moving Mach 4, Mach 5 or something. Yeah. Yeah, we looked at that stuff. We looked at that deeply at that stuff. And those numbers weren't, I said, well, what's this one for? What's that one for? We were going through all of it. It's in that live that I did with Kaiser Pineapple. So I won't go into much more detail. You can rewatch it if it interests you. I'm sure a lot of you guys were already there, so you can probably remember it. Plus, one of those videos, the thing changes shape and looks obviously like it was a heat signature of a duck. Right? Yeah. And then they could take that and doctor it up and be like, "Oh man, people will totally buy this," right? I've yet to witness or discover anything to suggest that UAPs are UFOs, as UAPs display zero evidence for being mechanical rather than simply energy. Yep. Let's see. Hey, y'all. I was chatting with a friend on Telegram about the Nile. Okay. Trampolines. In fact, that I built a platinum smelting system. Well, that's cool, man. Can't wait to see some of these. Is it Gary Lamb? Where's the money, Gary? Where's the money, Gary? You better pay what you owe. You better pay it. You're running out of time. Well, actually, I've already, we passed 1 year, so the gloves are off. But I'm just waiting for the surprise. It might be a December surprise. Like I have to focus on the election, not to focus on what's important right now. What's done is done, but we'll never forget, and we will make sure that justice is served. Trust me on that. See how media is burned up in the atmosphere. Our water sources still. Yep. Creature spirits are not UFOs. They are UAPs. UFOs are black ops. All right. Memento Mori, what's up, my friend? How you doing? All right, let's get to this town hall. We're 25 minutes into the kickoff show. This is the kickoff show. At the top of the hour, we'll be going over to Rumble and X exclusively to start our listening party for J. Michael Waller's awesome book, Big Intel. I hope you guys are that have come to the kickoff show. I hope you guys are all listening along because this book is simply amazing. I need you to say hello and let me know that you're there tonight. All right, if you are, I hope it's got your interest. And hey, look, even if you don't have time to listen to it with me, just get the audiobook on Audible and listen to it on your own time. Listen to it as you're going to sleep. Just listen to this book, man. It's got so much great information. I mean, it really is good to well round your base of information about what we're fighting here, the underlying idea of Marxism and the corrupt deep state that we're dealing with right now. And it's also in there going to help provide solutions to understand how we can fix this thing, right? We have to understand what we're fighting to understand how to fix it. That's the key. Yeah, man. All right. Let's get into this town hall. I got it at winning speed. So we'll see how this goes. And hopefully we won't have any issues. But if we need to slow it down, just let me know. We're going to listen along. I'm going to pull down the volume so I can comment. And there we go.
Welcome, President Trump.
Thank you very much. This is a nice crowd.
Yes, they love you.
That's a big town hall.
You know why? It's because they recognize, sir, that you're the one who fights for them. You're the one who protects them.
And you know what else? They fight for themselves, and they've been fighting for a long time, and we're going to make your fight easier. It's very important. We'll make it easier.
Love to hear
what's
that.
happened to our country in the last almost 4 years now, it's hard to believe, but if you look at the borders, if you look at inflation, you look at the Afghanistan disaster, the most embarrassing time in the history of our country. I think the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, the way they did, not getting out, I was getting out with dignity, strength. The way they got out was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened. Probably led to Putin going into Ukraine. Probably he looked at it, he said, these people aren't very good, are they? He would have never done that with me. So, we're all in this together. We got to win the election November 5th.
Yes. And sir, he has never yet called those Gold Star families to express his grief for the people and the soldiers that we lost that day.
He never will.
Who controls that airstrip now?
China.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, they have, China took over. And one of the things, get out, we were there like for 20 years. I said, what are we doing here? So we get the hell out. But, I had a talk with the Taliban, and we didn't lose one soldier in 18 months until this catastrophe happened when they took over. But, one of the things aside from everything else, we spent billions of dollars years ago to build a big airbase. And you knew that one from your own time.
Yes, I did.
A big one, a really good one, powerful runways, long runways. And you know what happened? I'll tell you, they gave it up. And it was 1 hour away from where China built, forget about Afghanistan, 1 hour away from where China builds its nuclear weapons. Would have been very nice to have. And China now occupies that airbase. So it's terrible. It's terrible.
It is. Mr. President, as you can see, we've got a lot of American patriots here tonight who want to ask you some questions.
Good.
If you don't mind, we'll move into that portion of the town hall tonight. Let's go to our first question. Our first question is going to be from a man named Reed. And Reed, I'm not certain where you are.
Where's Reed? There he is. Hi, Reed.
There he is, over there.
Nice looking guy.
Reed, I believe you're a Navy SEAL, correct?
No.
Okay, I got that wrong. All right, thank you very much.
Good evening, Mr. President. My name is Reed.
Hi, Reed.
I'm a single father and Iraq War veteran. I dream of owning a home for me and my son, but mortgage rates under the Biden-Harris administration have made
Tell me
that
about
impossible.
it. I have the same dream.
What can you do to help make home ownership affordable again?
All right, good. It's a great question. And a lot of people have this question. First of all, it's too expensive to build the homes, and they're building them, and they cost a fortune. And 30% of the cost in some locations is the cost of like planning and certificates and a lot of nonsense they do. They make you go through hell. It takes years to get them, zoning approvals, all of the approvals you need. We're going to get rid of a lot of that. But most importantly, we're going to get interest rates brought way down. We had interest rates at 2%, and now they're 10%, and you can't get the money. We had 2%, and there was plenty of money for everybody. And, you know, I call the home part of the American dream. We're going to create the American dream for young people and for older people, too, by the way. We're not going to forget. I mean, I happen to be a very young man, but we're not going to forget the older people. We're not going to forget the older people. By the way, no tax on Social Security benefits for the older people. For those. I guess, you know, somebody said, oh, he's got a conflict of interest because he benefits by that. I'll give mine up, everyone. I save tax. But no, we're going to do that for the older people. That's a big deal because you've been eaten alive with inflation. And all I'm doing is getting you back to even. I think when we do that, we're probably just getting you, you know, you have fixed income and you went up numbers like 30, 40, 50, depending on what they include. You know, they like to say it was a 20% increase. It wasn't. It was 30, 40, and 50, depending on what they want to include. So we're going to do that. But Reed, getting back to you, we're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to have so much energy. And we're going to bring prices down because, you know, your prices are up. Don't forget, the damage is done. We have the worst president and the worst vice president in the history of our country by far. And let me tell you, she is worse than him. And he's actually, I didn't think I'd ever say this about anybody. She's actually, you take a look at it, she's more dangerous than him, but he's actually smarter than her. I never thought I'd say that. I never thought I'd say that. But
it's a very low bar.
Down. We're going to drill. We're going to get the energy down. When the energy comes down, prices are going to come down. All of that prices, because, you know, when they say, oh, although they had very bad inflation numbers last month, you saw that. Very, very bad inflation numbers, despite the big, you know, they did this big drop, probably too big a drop. I'm not going to get into that. But we're going to get the prices down because the damage has been done. If we had no inflation now, such damage has been done. The highest, in my opinion, the biggest inflation in the history of our country. They didn't include a lot of the bad numbers. I'll give you an example on housing and on different things like crime statistics are fake. They were fake statistics. They didn't include some cities that were really bad. So the crime looked like it was just bad as opposed to being horrific. Jobs, 818,000 fake jobs they added. And they padded the job numbers a couple of months ago so that they'd look better on jobs. 818, they were fake. They were fraudulent jobs. And they thought they'd announce the real numbers after the election. But we had a whistleblower or somebody that let it out. So they cheated us on 18. Think of that. 818,000 jobs they cheated. You know, usually when you have those numbers, it's 9,000 jobs off it. This is almost 1 million jobs off. It's not even possible. So we're going to bring things and Reed, you're going to buy that house and you're going to pay 2.5%, 3% interest. And you're going to say, I love this guy. Because interest rates, Reed, will follow as the energy goes down. And I made another commitment.
You should just leave out the left
the
workforce numbers.
We have more liquid gold under our feet than Saudi Arabia, than Russia, than any other country. I'm going to bring down your energy costs 50% in the first year. 50%. And I better do it because I'm all over the place saying I'm going to have problems if I don't get it done. But we have all the capacity to do it. Nobody else can make that statement. We have so much energy, we don't even use it. We get energy from Venezuela. They don't have good oil. You know, they have tar. They have tar that you have to liquefy. And you know where they do it? In Houston, Texas, because that's where we have the plant. It's the only plant in the world that can do it. We do it in Houston. So for the environmentalists out there, this is not a pretty picture, what flows into the air, right? But we're going to use our beautiful liquid gold. And when we get everything else down, houses, everything's going to come. It's going to be beautiful. You're going to have a house. Just wait a little while. Give me a little while. Let me get in. 1 year from January 20th, we will have your energy prices cut in half all over the country.
Thank you. And Mr. President, in reference to Reed and his family, he's not in a unique situation. 65% of Americans today cannot buy a home. That has dramatically changed under the Biden-Harris administration, and Kamala Harris has embraced the policies that made home ownership disappear and take away that opportunity from Reed and his family, and 65% of Americans today. Listen, the American dream is still to own your own home. And now that is not possible because of what they've embraced. And you talk about liquid gold. If any state understands liquid gold and American energy, it's Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The Commonwealth. Make sure.
The Commonwealth.
Make sure, you know.
The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
By the way, this is a really great governor, very successful governor. She read some of the numbers. And I thought you would, because why not? Nobody else will do it, but I will.
I did it
because I do it
fast.
for my friends. No, you did it beautifully too. She has done a fantastic job as governor. And I will say this, I went to school here. I just want to forewarn her, because I've seen it happen and it's career threatening. Don't ever call it a state, it's a Commonwealth. And I was saying,
Lesson learned.
Has somebody, because a lot of innocent lambs have come up and they start talking to the people of Pennsylvania. I love you people. I know you so well. I'm here all the time. But, yeah, I went to school here. I went to the Wharton School, the great Wharton School of Finance. And they were great. It's a great place. But I went to college here. So never, ever even think. I watched one man crash and burn. He kept calling it the state. I kept saying it's the Commonwealth. And by the time the evening, I think his political career ended there.
Yes.
So
Sir,
go ahead.
tonight we have some special guests in the audience. We have a Gold Star family that is with us tonight. Mary and Charles Strange
Great.
are here. Where are they?
Where are they?
Oh, here they are, sir. They're behind us over here to the
come on
left.
up here. Come on.
They lost their son, Michael.
Come on up.
Come on up here.
It's a little harder to get up since I got shot. It made it more difficult. Perhaps that's the way it's supposed to be.
Sir, they lost
Hello,
their
how
son,
are you?
Michael.
President Trump, great to see you again, baby. Under Obama, all 30 guys died.
Did you want to say anything?
Under Obama is right. Under Obama. Please, on behalf of your son.
I would ask, Mr. President, my son was killed August 6, 2011 with 29 other men. It was the biggest loss of life in the Iraq and Afghan war. It was the biggest loss of life in a single day in the history of America. 22 of them men were Navy Special Warfare. Till to this day, we still haven't gotten any answers. I was wondering, I'm begging you, we would like a congressional hearing.
So here's what we're going to do. In the first week, let me have it, not the first day, because I made a lot of promises in the first day. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to close up the border. We're going to do a lot in the first day. In the first week, we will set up a commission. We're going to find out, because so many people in your same position,
There you go.
they want to know what happened. Why did it happen to their son or daughter? And we're going to do that within the first week. So you get ready to come over to the White House, okay? All right?
Mr. President.
There you go. That's how you
Can I
get
say
it
one
done.
more thing? I want to let America know, June 2017, President Trump and his wife had me and my wife bring 20 gold stars to the White House. Him and his wife stayed the whole time. They had food, drinks. They did a candle ceremony for us. President Trump stood up every time, saluted the Gold Star parents.
He's the real deal.
That was both a celebration, a remembrance. It had all emotion, right? They were happy, they were sad, they were devastated, but they remembered their beautiful boy, right?
Yes.
Their beautiful boy, and we're not going to forget. We're going to find out what happened. We're going to do that within the first week, and you have my word. Okay?
Thank you, President Trump.
Oh, I agree.
Real deal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And see, like, there's so many other things that we want answers to. Like, even for the people out there who believe, there's certain things going on in this world we don't have answers to. There's a way that you can get answers with a real president. Now, if the establishment stays in charge, you're never going to get answers to anything. You can talk about it all day long, put out your ideas all day long. You're never going to get answers because they're not transparent, and they want people living in the dark because they are the darkness, right? So, the best way to get the answers that you seek is to make sure that you vote. There's so many people that are deep dark in the abyss of conspiracies, and they don't even think that they should even vote. You've got to vote. We got to make sure that we overwhelm it so they can't cheat and the establishment can't maintain its stranglehold on our government. And if you want the answers, there's the answer right there, President Trump.
Mr.
What a
President,
nice couple.
Mary and Charles' daughter, Rachel, is also here tonight. She is Michael's sister. So thank you, Rachel, for coming tonight too. And God bless you and your family. Thank you for your
Thank you.
service and your sacrifice.
Thank you, darling.
Yes,
Thank you, honey. That's tough stuff.
it is. Thank you for your commitment to.
And like what we were discussing in Afghanistan with the 13 family members, they feel that bad things happen, stupid things happened, and you hate for that to be, and it's your son or your daughter.
They
There's no
deserve
reason.
answers.
It should have never happened in Afghanistan, I can tell you that, the 13 that died. And they don't mention there were many people wounded too, and I mean seriously wounded with the legs and the arms and the face, and we're going to give them everything they want. I've gotten to know those families. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Sir, our next question tonight is from Angelina, who I believe is right here. If you want to come forward, Angelina.
Hi, Angelina.
Good evening, Mr.
Angelina.
President.
Let me stand up for you. Go ahead.
My name's Angelina, and I was raised in a Philadelphia Democrat household, a union household. As a mother of a blended family, my top issues are the same issues that face all Americans. Illegal immigration hurts Black Americans. Inflation hurts Black Americans, and dangerous cities hurt Black Americans.
They hurt white Americans too. They hurt all Americans.
Like my fellow Americans, my grocery bill has not gone down. Everything is still so very expensive. What steps will your administration take to help American families suffering from this inflation?
So, it's such a great question in the sense that people don't think of grocery. It sounds like not such an important word when you talk about homes and everything else, right? But more people tell me about grocery bills, where the price of bacon, the price of lettuce, the price
every
of
week.
tomatoes, they tell me. And we're
buying
going to
them.
do a lot of things. Our farmers aren't being treated properly. And we had a deal with China, and it was a great deal. I never mentioned it because once COVID came in, I said that was a bridge too far, because I had a great relationship with President Xi. And he's a fierce man, and he's a man that likes China, and I understand that. But we had a deal, and he was perfect on that deal. $50 billion he was going to buy. We were doing numbers like you wouldn't believe for the farmer. But the farmers are very badly hurt. The farmers in this country, we're going to get them straightened out. We're going to get your prices down. But you asked another question about safety and also about Black population jobs and Hispanic population, in particular, those two. So when millions of people pour into our country, they're having a devastating effect on Black families and Hispanic families more than any others. I think it's going to spread to a lot of other places. I think it's going to spread to unions. I think unions are going to have a big problem because, employers are just not going to pay the price. They're going to, and it's a very bad thing that's happening. So they're coming in, many are coming in from jails and prisons and mental institutions, insane asylums. That's like, a step above, right? Insane asylum.
Facts.
And whenever I go, Hannibal Lecter, you know what I'm talking about? They always go the fake news. That's a lot of fake news back there, too. But
I love that part.
they always mention, it's a way of demeaning. They just say, Hannibal Lecter, why would he mention? Well, you know why? Because he was a sick puppy. And we have sick puppies coming into our country. I figure that's better than wasting a lot of words. You just say Hannibal Lecter. We don't want him, but they always sort of say, why would you say that? I do it for a lot of reasons, but I do it because we are allowing some very bad people into our country, and they're coming as terrorists. You saw the other day, last month, they had the record number of terrorists. I had a month, and I love Border Patrol. Did you see they gave me a full endorsement 2 days ago? Border Patrol. The Border Patrol. And they're great. And, they want to do their job. They don't want to let these people come in. They look at them. They can tell. They can look at somebody, say good, bad. They say what's coming into our country now, it's having a huge negative impact on Black families and on Hispanic families and ultimately on everybody. And we're going to close that border so tight, it's going to be closed. And I said the two things I'm going to do. First, we're going to close that border, and people are going to come in. You want people to come in. We need people to come in. People are going to come into our country legally. It's so unfair. You have people that are waiting on a system, on a line, and they've been waiting on this line, how long? For years, 10 years, 12 years, and they study and they take tests. And then people come. I actually say, why don't you just come on across? I tell people that it's terrible, right? I say, go out. You're incredible. They say, what can I do to speed up the process? I say, you know what? Go to the southern border. I'll see you on the other side. It's so unfair. But we're going to have them come in legally. You have to see what they have to do. They take tests on, who was the first one here? What date was this? What does 1776 mean? All this stuff. And these other people are coming in, and they're affecting the school systems, and they're affecting the hospital system. I mean, if you take a look at what's going on in Springfield.
And I wonder about those tests too. Like, who's writing those tests? How good are those tests? We really need to take a look at that and go back to the philosophy of liberty. What does liberty mean? Like Ron Paul used to talk about all the time. The philosophy of liberty. I mean, so many people, if you ask them to explain the philosophy of liberty, they really wouldn't understand how to do it. And these are people who were born here. So I'm wondering what those tests are like to get in, to become a citizen, and whether those need to be revamped somewhat too. Think about it. Corruption's been in charge for a long time. They're in charge of those tests. Those tests may be very, very, very bad. They might not be very good at all. They may have a lot of false history in them.
Springfield, Ohio, a town of 50,000 people. They've just added 32,000 people, illegal immigrants, and we're not going to put up with it. And we're going to take care of your costs are going to come down, and you're not going to have a problem with because the biggest problem, and I'm hearing it from Black people, and to a lesser extent right now, but it'll be the same.
Trump
Hispanic
combat
people.
knife.
And I'll tell you
That
what,
looks
our
pretty
poll numbers have
pretty
gone through
cool.
the roof. With Black and Hispanic have gone through the roof, and I like that. I like that.
Make sure you
I
get
like
your
that.
Trump combat
So
knife.
we're going to take care of it. You will be. I'll tell you, if everything works out, if everybody gets out and votes on January 5th or before, it used to be you'd have a date. Today you can vote 2 months before, probably 3 months after. They don't know what the hell they're doing. But we're going to straighten it all out. We're going to straighten that out too. We're going to straighten our election process out too. That's going to be important also. So thank you very much, darling.
Yes.
We're going to get it straight. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelina. Mr. President, we had in the last year over 800,000 Americans lose their jobs in this country.
I'd like to
But
see a test, one of those
1.2
tests.
non-citizens took those jobs. They're filling the jobs that Americans could have to provide for their families. And Kamala Harris has been in charge of this border. She
You know, here's the thing about they're going to go into jobs right now. I got to say something because I mean, this gets overshadowed all the time. We're on the verge. I mean, has anybody seen the new Tesla robots that can do anything? They're only going to be $20,000. We're on the verge of robots doing a lot of tasks. Who's gonna pick the fruit? Who's gonna do this stuff? Who's gonna do that stuff? Robots, drones. We're on the verge of the robot age, guys. Like that's the next evolutionary step. Where AI to robots, right? It's coming. It's not gonna. It's gonna be here in our lifetime. All right. So they say we need people to fill these jobs. Well, you know what's gonna happen is they're gonna get all these people here, and then the robots are gonna be ready to be rolled out, right? Because it's happening so fast with AI. Wally, yeah, Wally, you know, and then we're not gonna need all these people for the jobs. We're not gonna need all of them. And, you know, and actually, like there's jobs that aren't getting done, and we're somehow suffering right now because there's jobs not getting done. So this whole thing about we need people for the jobs and blah blah blah, I'm not buying it. AI is going to take care of a lot of that. So is the robotics. And nope, I saw a Terminator. I know what happens. Hey Ellie, how you doing? So yeah, I think that we can just stop. But I'm in favor of just sealing off the border, stopping migrant immigration, right? Helping people fix their own countries. We could probably do that. And we need to take a break from the whole immigration thing. We got students coming here on visas or getting educations here in the country that want to become citizens. I'm okay with that, right? As long as they're not Marxist ideology driven mind control subverters, right? I'm okay with that. I think that this whole idea that we need a bunch of migrants to work jobs that people weren't working. McDonald's is getting automated. I mean, these fast food restaurants are getting automated. Drones are becoming more sophisticated. Self-driving cars. Dude, I don't buy it. I don't think we need more people. I think we're kind of full right now, actually. Yeah, no commies, Herman. That's right. No commies.
He is the one who has been the border czar who has facilitated this invasion. I've always called it an invasion and a war zone down there because we see the criminals and the terrorists coming across.
It is an invasion like we've never seen before. And you know, if it was an invasion of people that deserve to come in or
It is an
that love the
invasion.
country will be great. You know, she used to go around saying
It's an invasion. I'm going to stop him again. It's an invasion that is what is forming the sides of a future civil war. The Civil War doesn't have to be between the North and the South, right? That's an archetype. That's something that we remember from history, and it's the only thing that we have to compare it to it in this country, right? The only thing we have to compare to a civil war. So our minds automatically think civil war North-South, right? We're thinking, well, Texas succeeds or the southern states succeed, and then we fight over this, we fight over that, and we have nice even armies all drawn up with their nice little uniforms and their battle flags. That's not how this one's going to go down. And look at the numbers that are coming in. And not to say that every one of those numbers is going to be part of this, that battle. But if it was allowed to continue, that would be the war, the civil war, the war happening within our borders between the citizens and the non-citizens, right? That would ultimately collapse our country, ultimately lead us into a crisis so big that some other force can move in as a savior or move in as a conqueror, and we're done. Right, because we would be so weakened by our supply chain, the people that we've lost, the supply chain being broken, everything would crumble, and then along with that, our economy, the value of the dollar, so on, our world standing, all that goes like that when a civil war happens. That's not of this type that I'm describing. And the armies are being moved in, as we see. Like most of the people that are coming across the border, military-aged men, people being criminals, gang members. That's enough. That's enough. You don't have to have uniforms and a flag these days to be part of an army, right? It's the army of an idea. And basically, these the non-citizens against the citizens. When the citizens have had enough and the government won't do anything, boom, now it's happening.
don't commit crime. Have you seen the gang from Venezuela, what they've done in Aurora, Colorado?
But it's only a few, according
Yeah,
to
they said
Martha
it's
Raddatz.
only
According to
a
Martha,
few.
it's just a few apartment
And by the
buildings.
way, it's hundreds all over the country, and they're like me. They're in the real estate business, but they take it over with rifles. They take it over with a level of sophistication, because you know a lot about guns from where you come and you like it. And I'm a big protector of the Second Amendment. We've gotten totally endorsed. And if you think that's easy, it's not easy. But the NRA gave me total endorsement. I assume you got total endorsement. We have no choice. We have to have it. I mean, especially when you have, it's amazing. These radical left.
I'll cover this on Tuesday.
They want everybody to come into
Right
our
here.
country. Many of
It's
them
already
are
happening.
criminals, and then they want to also take your guns away simultaneously. So they don't want your guns, but they want them to come in. So you need it for protection. If somebody knows that you have a gun in your house, they say, let's go after somebody else. People put signs under this gun, or we have, some of them actually spell the kind of a gun they have. We have an AK-47 inside. And people say, you know what, let's just, and I knew about an AK-47 from a few weeks ago. And the AR-15, I know about that one too. I know a lot. But you know what? You have a lot of bad people out there.
My
and
doorbell
you can't,
reloads.
it just can't be a one-way street. You know one thing, if she wants to take your guns away, if you take them away, the bad guys are not giving them up. That's the only thing. I don't think the good people are giving them up either. You want to know the truth? But the bad guys are not giving up their guns. That's the only thing I know for certain, right?
It's true. You're true. Your JD Vance did a fantastic job on Sunday morning,
Is he
calling
doing
out
a
the
good
fake
job?
news. Yes.
JD Vance is doing a
For
great
how they're
job.
trying to diminish the devastation that's
May
going on in some
28th.
of these communities. And Kamala Harris has facilitated losing 300,000 children as well since she's been in charge of the border. I always say that they're not missing children, that they are trafficked and kidnapped and murdered children because they've come across that border and we have no idea where those children are. And we know how devastating it is, what's happening to their lives right now with what she's facilitating.
I think that, all bad numbers, we have a lot of bad numbers. There's so much bad happened to this administration. It's disgraceful. As an example, there'd be no war with Russia and Ukraine. There's no way. I get along very well with Putin. I fully understand what's happening. It was the apple of his eye. He used to talk about it. But I said, you're not going in. And he wasn't going in. It's only because of Biden. He looked at this guy. He can't even believe it. But the same with Ukraine. I got along very well with Zelensky. Very well. In fact, he came to New York 2 weeks ago. He came to see me. And I got along very well with him. I'm going to negotiate that thing out. That is now a death trap. You have cities that are all down. Those gorgeous golden domes, those magnificent domes are laying on their side, all busted up after, I don't know, they're 1,000 years old or something, the heritage, what's happened there. But many more people are killed than they're reporting. They knocked down, that was my business. They have apartment houses that are they're like 3 blocks, city blocks long, not that tall, but pretty tall. And they are big. And they knock it down with a missile. And they say 2 people were slightly injured. A lot of people, the number of people dying in the Ukraine-Russia war is a far greater number than anybody knows. And Biden has done nothing about it. He hasn't even spoken to Putin in over a year. No, nothing about it. And this is a war that has to end, and we're going to get that war ended. I'm going to try, and I think I can, get it ended as president-elect. In other words, before I even take over the White House. Going to stop the people from dying.
Yes.
They said to me, well, whose side are you on? I was interviewed by fake news, CNN, fake news. Uh-oh, their camera just went off. Their camera just went off. No.
Love it.
Their camera just went off. Okay. It always happens. Whenever I point to them, immediately they turn off because they know it. But I was Caitlin Collins, a nice person, but Caitlin Collins is interviewing me and she said, well, whose side are you on? I said, it's not a question of sides. I want people to stop dying. That's all. I want people to stop dying. And it was a very interesting thing because it was a CNN. It was like this, a smaller room, much smaller. This is a big room. This is a very big room, but it was a much smaller room. But they had all people in there from CNN. Within the first 5 minutes, they were totally on my side because it's common sense. And we're now the party of common sense. I say it. We're conservative, but we're the party of common sense. We need walls. We want good education. We want low interest rates. We want to be able to buy a house. We want jobs. And you know what? We want a strong military. I rebuilt our entire military. And we want a strong military. And ideally a strong military that we don't have to use. Is that even better? We'll have a strong military. If we don't have to use it, that's even better.
I love it. So, Mr. President, let's get back to our questions. We have Yanni, who's waiting to ask you a question, has been waiting a long time. Yanni, welcome.
We're going to get to the reading here shortly.
Are
you on?
Just give them 1 second.
I think
Here
I've
they
asked
come.
before.
Right behind you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here today, Mr. President.
Thank you.
To answer questions from all the
heard that in my
voters of
inner ear.
Pennsylvania and just to work hard and show support. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm a small business owner in Lansdale. I have a small breakfast lunch restaurant, Coffee Corner. And and to be honest, Mr. President, I really, am praying for you to get in there and change the policies. Ever since the gas prices started spiking, I noticed literally everything started spiking, from deliveries to services, goods, even maintenance, overall maintenance. Everything just spiked up, and it's really hurting small businesses, small business owners, and those who work within them. So my question is, what's your plan to help bring common sense back and help small businesses that got destroyed by Democrats after COVID and the Biden administration?
So, great. Because small businesses are actually bigger than big businesses when you add them all up, and it's very important. And it sounds like yours, I would love your food. I can tell by looking at that guy. I think I'd like to go over there. If I'm over there, I'm going to stop it. The fact is that, they want to get away from gas. And I have friends, they're into the cooking world. I'm not. I just like to eat. But they're into the cooking. And I don't know how you feel. It sounds like they feel that gas is much better than the electric for cooking, right? And they have this thing about, they want to put gas out of business, right? No gas. The amazing thing, we don't have electric in this country, but we have all the gas you can use. We have oil and gas. That's what we have. And even the cars, if you look, they want to go with all electric cars. California is having blackouts every week, brownouts, blackouts, and then they come up with rules and regulation to go to all electric, but they can't even supply what they have. It's so nuts. We're going to get, number one, your utility cost. You heard me say it before. Your costs will be down, and we're getting rid of all the electric. If you want electric, great. And if you want gas, great. The only thing you can't have is a hydrogen car, right? You heard me say that, right? Because you know what happens? They have a new car. They say it's great, but it's got one problem. You know what the problem is? Every once in a while, one will blow up. And if it does blow up and you happen to be inside of it, you're in bad luck because you're not recognizable. Do you know that? It's the new thing, hydrogen. I said, no, thank you. I don't want it. I don't want it. They called the wife. That's not my husband. Oh, yes, it is. It's no good. So if we get your energy costs will be down by 50%. Your interest is going to come down, and people are going to start to make, not only you, people will have more money to go to your restaurant. You're going to have a great business. And, during COVID, I was the one that worked out the loans. I don't know if you got one, but everybody, so many people got millions of small businesses. And Linda McMahon was the head of Small Business Administration, which was a big business, but she was the head, and she was phenomenal. Linda McMahon was phenomenal. So many people tell me about her that she was one of the best secretaries, but Linda McMahon was in charge, and they loaned billions of dollars out to people with small businesses, and it was the greatest investment we made. It stopped us from going into a 1929 depression, which is exactly what we would have had, and she did a fantastic.
She did a fantastic job.
We're going to get your costs way down.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Mr. President, in my state, I always tell people it's hot in the summer, it's cold in the winter, and it's a long ways to drive anywhere, which I think a lot of Americans are experiencing, that no matter what, you're energy dependent. And since Joe Biden has been in the White House and Kamala Harris has supported every single one of his policies, did you hear her on The View? Did you hear her say she wouldn't change a thing from what Joe Biden has done? It's cost the average American family $4,500 just in energy costs. Just in energy costs.
Okay. Hold it,
Oh, we
please.
have
A doctor, please. Doctor. Thank you very much.
Oh, now.
We have incredible people. They come here hours before, and it's a little hot.
Got to remember to eat and stay hydrated.
They're with us all the way. We got to respect them. And you take your time, doctor. Take your time. Thank you very much. We always have great doctors in the audience. We've never had too much of a problem.
Okay, let's see if we can fast forward this part. I'm sure everything will turn out just fine.
First responders. Our first responders are amazing, the way they can do things so beautifully. We'll get it taken care of fast. A lot of it's pretty easy to take care of. Hardest thing is going to be the border, though, in terms of the people that have been let in.
Yeah.
People that have been let into this country, what they're doing, where do they come from? What are they doing? What's their thought process when they allow a thing like that to happen? Let's wait till they take care of this incredible person who I guarantee you is a great patriot. I guarantee it. Everybody in this room is a patriot.
He'll wait until they're done. He'll wait.
That looks a little bit bad.
Uh-oh. He will wait. See? And wait. And wait. We did this the other day with someone in the crowd went down. Butler, PA, he waited like, what, 10 minutes?
I'm okay. We're not going to lose anything. We just want to make sure they're fine. This is a little bit of a tough one, I think. Little tough.
Oh, we don't know what's happening. See, he crowd singing God Bless America.
So we had a beautiful evening, and I don't know if they could get this song up quickly, but if they could work really quickly backstage while we're waiting.
Oh, they're gonna play a song. All right, hey guys, we're right at the hour as it is. Hello.
Ave Maria. We had Ave Maria the other day.
Ave Maria.
Butler, Pennsylvania. And Butler, we had 101,000 people. It was the most a celebration. Corey, I call Corey the firefighter, the chief. He was great.
a
And if
friend.
they could play Ave Maria, if you can get it, Justin, let's go if you can.
Okay, that's gonna get
A little quick
copyrighted.
notice.
But
Ave Maria.
he'll do it. He'll do it. That it's just this is the song they played at the end of the RNC, right? Hey, Shelly. I need your input here. The Ave Maria, right? Is this the one they played at the end? At the end of the RNC? Is this the one? Is this the song? Someone I think was just telling me about this today. The song that they played at the end of no? What was the song they played at the end of the RNC? Okay, everything's fine.
Great. We love that man. We love that man.
Okay, Ave Maria is the prayer Hail Mary. Okay. Okay, a line too far, a line, hold on. There's a movie called
It's so beautiful, though.
a line
Listen to that.
fuck.
It's nice.
Guys, help me
He's
out.
gonna be okay. We have
Let's
nice
see,
music
across the
put
line, a
together.
line too
Not bad.
far. It's a movie about a deep state that tries to pit
Thank you, everybody, very much. That's
America against Russia and Russia against America in order to start a major world war. And the president at the end
Thank you, sir.
figures it out, stops it,
Sir, as we talk about
and
how
then
things have
I
gotten
don't know,
harder under this
eliminates all the
administration and how
people
Kamala
involved or
Harris
something like
is also
that. And that was the song they played at the end of that movie. And that was the song they played at the end of the RNC because someone was pointing that out to me today.
And Heather, would you please stand? She's right here, and
Hi.
she is so thrilled to be talking to you tonight, Mr. President.
I'll take one more question from the
Good evening,
crowd, and then we're gonna go read it, right?
My name is
Because this
Heather,
is
and
about
I was a
unrigging the
registered
game.
Democrat for most of
Nasudoma.
but not
Is that okay?
anymore.
That's the one, and it was in a
Yes,
movie.
Yes, I saw the light.
A bridge too far? No, I don't know.
I no longer identify with the Democratic Party.
Welcome to Baseland.
They've put criminals and foreign enemies ahead of American citizens. The border
Some
is
of all
the
fear.
issue
That's it. Thank you.
of
See, I
this
knew you'd have the
election,
answers.
Because if
We have to
can't
watch that
secure the
movie.
border, we won't have a country. We know that you're going to finish the wall, but how are you going to handle the deportation of criminals?
Good question. Have a great answer. You guys know my take on this, right? I'm going to submit my idea is that we have to have a special task force that has a workflow involved with it, right? That can actually take on these tasks that doesn't bog down the police, the local police, and so on. I think I know how he's going to answer, but I'm going to put my spin on it real quick, my thoughts on it as a root cause analyst here. That we need to have a special branch of a temporary branch just for this purpose, where they can work with intelligence to understand where these people are, to do it cleanly, fastly, have transportation ready, have everything ready to have them gathered up and moved out quickly without disrupting normal production, without disrupting or taking away from the police force. Because when you tax your local police forces to go in and do these kind of things, right? Other criminals get away with doing other things. Other crimes are committed because they're busy, they're occupied. There's only so many people that can do it. So if it was a special branch of, say, the National Guard or some kind of like special task force that could go in and do this, right? With training, of course, they could be a group of people that are trained, a mix of police and military or something like that, but something that had a distinct beginning and end date, right? Like, maybe it has to be renewed every year. And should the cause not be, should we complete the deportation, which I imagine is going to take years. When that's completed, the group would be dissolved, right? And that's something that would have to be part of it. But that would all work in conjunction together to identify, to round up, to transport, and then to remove, right? And document and remove, right? Because you got to document them so they don't come back and say, okay, look, you can't come back in. You came in illegally once. You got a strike against you. You want to come back in, you're going to have to apply for citizenship, and you're going to have to wait wherever you're at until you can actually get in. So that way you don't mess things up trying to do this right. Let's see what he says. Maybe he's got an optimized plan now.
So if you've watched any of our last rallies, we have a Criminal Aliens Act of 1798. That's a long time ago. And it gives the president tremendous power to do what has to be done to secure our country. And you're right, so if you look at the polls, it says that the number one issue is the economy. Number two is inflation. Let's even put them together. And number three is the border. I disagree. I think I agree. I do agree with you. The number one issue this country has.
Another medic? Are people doing this on purpose? This has been quite an active little town hall. Now what? It's too hot in there?
No,
Trump's like, get the damn air on. Oh, there goes Ave Maria. All right.
And let's. Yeah, take your time, Doctor.
Wow, 2-1. Ave Maria's playing. All right, everything's good now. Excitement everywhere.
It looks like, sir, she's on her feet and walking out. Let's encourage her.
Thank you.
Let her know
Thank
we'll be
you.
praying for her. And I know it's
Okay.
really warm in here. Everybody agrees that it's really warm in here. We've got a lot of people who love America. I'm going to ask that if you have a chair, maybe sit so everyone around you can sit and still see the president and ask him questions. Maybe that will help us.
And we can spend a little more time.
Yes.
Personally, I enjoy this. We lose weight. You know, no, you lose weight. We could do this, lose 4 or 5 pounds. It's okay with me.
Kamala Harris is.
But some people have been waiting here for 2 days for this, so you know, it's a little bit tough. It's a little bit tough, but they're going to try and get those doors open.
Yes.
And I don't know whose building this is, but if they had air conditioning, you say the air conditioning.
They probably
Yeah,
can't afford
crank
it, sir, in
that
this
sucker.
economy.
That's that's right. They don't want to give us air conditioning. It's too expensive. It costs too much. Anyway, but they're both okay.
Yes.
They're both in good shape.
That's wonderful.
Would anybody else like to faint? Please raise your hand.
Let's do it now.
Please raise your hand. You know what we could do though? If my guys can do it,
We're almost done,
How
Heidi.
about-
We're getting ready to jump
we'll
over
do a little
to
music. Let's make
Rumble
this
next.
a musical fest.
I'll tell you what, I think we're going to go ahead and cut it right there because we kind of lost the point of the question. But I said my part about deportation. We'll find out what happens. Either way, it's going to happen. It needs to happen. Well, I'm sure whatever he comes up with will be awesome. All right. So yeah, let's thank everybody for coming to the kickoff show. Now remember, the links to Rumble and X are pinned in the chat, and they are also in the description of this video. So all you have to do is click on that Rumble link and you'll follow us over to Rumble. Or if you're already on X, don't worry. The book is coming right now. I'm going to get over there and play it lickety split. We're going to get right into this book as soon as we get over there. And I thank you guys all for coming to the kickoff show and joining us for the town hall and all the other things I talked about today. I really do appreciate it. And I will be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Winning 2024 here on YouTube. But for now, we're going to continue the broadcast on Rumble and X and get on out of here. I will see you guys over there, and until tomorrow, YouTube. Hold on. My mouse is moving. Until tomorrow, YouTube. Later.
Man, everyone's tensed up for a Rumble.